Tom didn't want to continue in the fight. So.
Tom didn't want to continue in the fight. I mean, could you imagine if you're Tom Aspinall listening to that? Could you imagine? I mean, we know that no one from the UFC was with him at the hospital. We saw that on his video blog. Could you imagine how this guy must be feeling on this Monday? Everyone calling him into question, his heart into question, because he got poked in the eye multiple times. One of them knuckle deep, and his promoter is saying Tom didn't want to continue.
Dana White has officially turned on Tom Aspinall, and the MMA world isn't staying silent. After UFC 321's chaotic eye poke ending, fans expected Dana to support his interim champ, but instead, he did the opposite. At the post-fight press conference, Dana praised Ciryl Gane, calling him incredible and dominant, even saying he bloodied up Tom and chose not to continue. No sympathy, no mention of the brutal eye poke that stopped the fight. No acknowledgement that Tom was in the hospital, dealing with a serious eye injury.
And laid there on his back until Jon submitted. Against the cage, Gane was sat there, not moving, not bucking, not shifting or fighting hands, sitting there like this until Jon locked up the guillotine on him. I'm very aware of what happened in that fight, and do I wish Tom would have finished him earlier? I do, without resistance. That was the ideal circumstance for Tom Aspinall, was to finish Ciryl Gane with no resistance in the first round. I think we see an overconfident Gane in the rematch, and I think Tom smokes him, but Tom was raging. So there's an emotional aspect to this rematch now that I'm worried about, because I've been looking for Bully Tom to make an appearance for a very long time, you guys. For a very long time, I've been waiting for Bully Tom to make an appearance. And he made the appearance on, what the fuck you guys booing me for? He genuinely made an appearance in the post-fight speech. The fuck you guys booing me for? I got fucking double eye poked. A double eye poke landed. Insane. Crazy. Horrible result for the main event. Worst case scenario. All things come together. It's weird how MMA works, is it not? Dirtiest fighter on the heavyweight roster, Ciryl Gane, constantly cheats every single fight. He's a dirty little French cunt. Jon Jones is the nemesis of Tom Aspinall.
Tom didn't want to continue in the fight. I mean, could you imagine if you're Tom Aspinall listening to that? Could you imagine? I mean, we know that no one from the UFC was with him at the hospital. We saw that on his video blog. Could you imagine how this guy must be feeling on this Monday? Everyone calling him into question, his heart into question, because he got poked in the eye multiple times. One of them knuckle deep, and his promoter is saying Tom didn't want to continue. Not Tom was fouled with an illegal strike, multiple illegal strikes. Let me ask you a question. If that happened in some alternate universe to AJ, to Anthony Joshua, what do you think Eddie Hearn is saying? Eddie Hearn's probably still at the hospital with him. That's the difference. That's what I talk about. How do you think Tom feels on this Monday? Do you think he wanted it to end like that? Do you think that Tom was saying to himself, you know what? I got a bloody nose. The going got tough here. Peace out, guys. I'm out. Again, the fight wasn't as one-sided as people want you to believe. Yeah, I know it was weird that he was bloody. And yeah, I know it was weird that he was losing a round. We never see him lose rounds. We never see it go past the 2 minute and 2 second mark. That's his fight average going into this fight. But do you guys really think that he was looking for a way out?
I'm mad, and I don't know who I'm mad at. I'm either mad at Ciryl or I'm mad at Tom. Something about this, though, was very off. Look, the fight, they were kind of getting to know each other. They were kind of feeling each other out. Tom did everything right, by the way. He came out there, he threw the big bombs, but Ciryl was slipping.
What he does when his first plan of action doesn't work, what's he checked down to? Is he gonna wrestle? Can he compete with Ciryl Gane on his feet for 25 minutes? And I don't get any of those answers, and just like everybody at home, I'm disappointed.
Being poked in the eye is illegal, Brendan, but to fight with one eye is very common.
They've done that on the UFC broadcast, by the way, and humiliated Ciryl Gane for what he was fucking doing. That doesn't happen by accident. And you can hear Aspinall's team, what the fuck is this, a double poke? I just think Ciryl Gane's a dirty fucking cheat. I'm disgusted in that, like. I'm fucking disgusted. Because you can fucking take someone's eyesight for life doing that shit. All because the pressure's getting you and you're feeling the hate. What the fuck are you doing in there then? There should be a fine in the suspension for that level of shit, in my opinion. Because if you're going to fight like that, you're going to fucking blind people. But let's take a look at what Dana...
And instead of showing support, Dana's out here burying him publicly. This is the same Tom Aspinall who's been loyal, humble, and respectful his entire UFC career. Never trashing opponents, never calling out the company, always grateful for every fight. Yet somehow Dana's attitude toward him feels personal. Even Ariel Helwani called him out, saying Dana's comments were irresponsible and embarrassing for the UFC.
Damon and Mike Heck were having a conversation, and I read the transcript, and Mike Heck was very hard on Chael. Now, Mike gets a pass because Mike always backs Chael. So the fact that Mike was saying, hey, Chael, you got this right, it kind of made me listen. I kind of pay a little bit more attention because I know how supportive he has been. And Tom's stock going down. Let's take a look at that. So let me give you some numbers, okay? Numbers don't lie. My partner's DraftKings had Tom at one point, and it was, you'd have to check the chart, it was a spike in the graph, but they had him on fight day a 3.5 to 1 favorite. It did not close at that. But Tom actually went up, became a larger favorite after the face-offs at the weigh-in. Okay. The fight goes off, he was actually inside of 3 to 1. Well, let's just call it 3 to 1. When my partners at DraftKings come out with a new line for the fight that is eventually going to take place, it's going to be close. There will be times, I mean, if they were to do it today and money starts coming in, they take action, that Ciryl could be the favorite. Try to imagine that. So when we talk about Tom's stock dropping, that's a very tough claim. I mean, on those hands, a guy that was a 3.5 to 1 favorite that is now the underdog, you'd think that his stock dropped. But the anticipation to see Tom versus Ciryl was very small, guys. That pay-per-view did
Out that Dana never mentioned Ciryl Gane once, even though Gane was warned twice for open hands and caused the fight-ending poke. Instead, Dana seemed to protect and even praise him while throwing Tom under the bus. Many believe Dana's attitude comes from growing frustration with Aspinall. Just weeks ago, Tom said if his close friend Auntie Delia ever joined the UFC and they were matched to fight, he'd rather vacate the belt than face him, a comment some think didn't sit well with Dana.
Do you think that Tom was saying to himself, you know what? I got a bloody nose. The going got tough here. Peace out, guys. I'm out. Again, the fight wasn't as one-sided as people want you to believe. Yeah, I know it was weird that he was bloody. And yeah, I know it was weird that he was losing a round. We never see him lose rounds. We never see it go past the 2 minute and 2 second mark. That's his fight average going into this fight. But do you guys really think that he was looking for a way out? And again, I bring up the topic that I brought up last week, and I bring up the topic that I've been bringing up ever since I've been sitting in a chair like this, talking into a camera like that. This notion of intentional versus unintentional is the stupidest shit in sports. Period. Period. You don't hear it anywhere else. Let me ask you guys a question. Yesterday, I'm watching the New York Knicks against the Miami Heat. Crucial juncture of the game. Knicks are down like 8 or so. They have the ball. Josh Hart gets called for an offensive foul. Illegal screen. Do the referees converge and say, like, did he mean to do that or did he not mean to do that? No, a foul is a foul. Ball goes the other way.
Because it went a few minutes. It doesn't mean in any way, shape, or form here that Tom Aspinall was struggling. He fucking wasn't. Ciryl Gane's a good technical fighter. He was making it more difficult to catch him. But it wasn't like he was dishing out loads of punishment just because Tom had a bloody nose from a punch. Fucking Floyd Mayweather had a black eye from fucking Deji. A little bit of damage when you're in there throwing big fucking fists at each other is going to happen sometime. It does not reflect the way the fight is actually going. Little bit of blood. As long as you can breathe out that nose, you are fine. And it's this context that in the MMA and fight world, people just fucking ignore for some reason.
I saw Tom Aspinall on there land some nasty stuff too. I saw Tom Aspinall throw a high kick. I've never seen him throw a high kick. It is partly because he's never had to throw a high kick. There are layers to these guys' games that we have to find only when they're fighting someone that not only deserves to be in there with them, but can extend them to a point where they have to use all of their weapons.
I mean, look, DC knows MMA. I'm not going to say he's talking total shit there, but I think if Tom Aspinall is being experimental in there and showing us things that he's not showing us before, I don't think for 1 second it's because I'm going to struggle here. I need to throw a high kick. I've never done that before. I don't think that's in his mind at all. He's so comfortable in there. He is showing more of his skill set that he has said he's been working on in the last year.
It was a significant eye poke. It wasn't like a little scratch. Yeah. It was, they went in. They were proper eye pokes, and Tom clearly was in a lot of pain. There's people saying online, well, he was saying multiple times, I can't see. If he wanted to continue, he shouldn't be saying that. The reality is, if he can't see...
Tell the truth.
If you can't see, you're allowed to say you can't see. People might point to me and say, well, you fought with one eye. Yeah, that was a secret because I shouldn't have been fighting. You know, Tom is the champion of the world. He doesn't want to go out there when his vision is impaired or vision is massively affected and potentially lose a fight that was shaping up to be a difficult fight. Ciryl Gane was on point tonight. He was looking good. We saw the damage on Tom's face. This was not an easy fight by any stretch of the imagination. He didn't want to continue with his vision damaged or not being able to see, so I don't blame him. The crowd were upset. I get that. They were frustrated. They've flown in from other countries. They've spent a lot of money. They've bought tickets, and the fight ends like that. I don't think the frustration was on Tom. I think the crowd was just annoyed at the situation.
Something Dana reportedly saw as an insult to the promotion. Adding fuel to the fire, Tom's father, Andy Aspinall, recently said in an interview that he doesn't want Tom to re-sign with the UFC once his contract ends, claiming boxing would pay better and treat him with more respect. With all that tension building, Dana's reaction now makes sense, but it's part of a familiar pattern. We've seen it with Francis Ngannou, Nate Diaz, and Tito Ortiz. The moment a fighter speaks up or pushes back, they're suddenly labeled a problem. Now Tom Aspinall's facing the same treatment, being painted as a quitter despite clear footage and medical proof that the eye poke was serious. He didn't give up. He literally couldn't see.
What the f is he doing? The left one was really deep. The left one was really deep.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
you got one for it.
Yeah,
twice before it, you got one for it.
Mike Bisping, he lost his eye. It's just a horrendous thing to think as a parent, really. And I know what it's like these days with people saying what they want, but if it's just your son and they could lose an eye and their health and they've got children to look after, you know, something needs doing about it. Yeah, it's horrendous for me.
Bill, Dana White once again chose to protect the brand over his fighter, and the backlash has been brutal. Fighters, analysts, and fans are calling him out for hypocrisy, saying he only wants yes men, not true champions. And with Tom Aspinall's father hinting that Tom could leave the UFC when his contract ends, this might be Dana's biggest mistake yet. Because if Tom Aspinall walks away, the UFC's heavyweight division might collapse right behind him.